Hi, and I welcome you to Yahweh Beauty Inc. My name is Dr. Keena Nicole Arnold, and I welcome you to go on a learning journey with me. We have 2 books for your learning enjoyment. Our first book is The Priesthood of the Dance. The Priesthood of the Dance is a manual to teach and help cultivate the dance minister, the movement of arts minister. We talk about in the Priesthood of the Dance the various colors that the minister of arts uses, as well as the many names of God, names that he calls himself, as well as we have given unto him in honor and reverence. We also discuss the many symbols that are located on our banners and what they mean. We give you biblical foundation for all of that and so much more. Why does God call us priests and kings unto himself? Why do we serve and move in this capacity in our worship experience? So I invite you to go to Amazon.com and purchase your copy today. It's an ebook only at this moment. In addition, we have our second book that's on pre-order only. It is entitled His Bride. Now that's a play on words, because we're talking about becoming his bride, the bride of Christ. Endowed with all that God has given us, he expects a return on his investment. And so we go through various subject matters, various struggles that we as women face in becoming his bride. But that's a play on words, remember? Not only are we becoming his bride, but we're becoming his bride to the one that you're betrothed to, the one that you're engaged to, the one that you're thinking about becoming engaged to. Or maybe you just have no idea of what it means to be married. And so we go through that subject matter as well. So I invite you to purchase your pre-order copy today via Zelle, via PayPal, by typing in Keena Nichols at hotmail.com, or even Cash App at $YP Beauty with an E INC. And you can see that information on your screen there. Pre-order your copy today because there's a wealth of information in there, from makeup artists to party planners to various things that you will need to know about becoming the thrifty bride. I was a thrifty bride. So I invite you and I welcome you to Yahweh Beauty Inc. Come on this learning journey with me, and I guarantee you, you will be blessed. Hey everybody, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Technical difficulties, my gosh. The internet, we love the internet. I love the internet. The internet is my friend. The internet is my friend. We're still trying to figure out why you can't see me, but you can hear me. So welcome to His Bride Intimate Conversation. We're going to have some fun today with some wonderful people that I know everybody personally, different walks of life. Even though you can't see me, it's all good. As long as you can hear me, it's all good.
And they have some awesome services, awesome businesses that they have grown from little to big, and much more. Some of them have left their corporate jobs and went full-fledged ahead in this wonderful event planning world, and some of them maintain their regular jobs and still are doing this kind of on the side, probably more permanently than on the side. And some of them just have a love for gifting their talents and all that they provide in the event planning world. And that includes what? Bridals. That includes bridal parties and weddings and everything in between. So I just wanted to bring them on because they are wonderful gifts to the kingdom. They're wonderful gifts to this industry. Um, you can go to their various Facebook pages and see their awesome work that they do, but they're going to tell you about their businesses individually. So for each one of you all, we have Nakiva Lawrence, we have Jamila Pierre, we have Sharon, we have K Rhea. You got K Rhea 74, but Konisha on this line. And I want each of them to introduce themselves to you and their business and what their area of specialty is. What their area of specialty is. So we'll start at my top of my screen, which is Nakiva. We'll go with you. Can you hear me, Nakiva?
Good evening, everyone. My name is
Good evening,
Hey, can you?
everyone. My name is Hey.
My name is
We can
Nakiva
hear you.
Lawrence.
My name is
I'm,
Nakiva Lawrence.
and lead planner of
And
Southwind
lead
Events.
planner of Southwind Events.
I have been in
I've been
business
in
officially since
business officially
2017,
since 2017,
but I've been planning weddings for
but
well over
I've been
15
planning
years.
weddings for well over 15 years.
My focus
My
is
focus
executing a seamless and and flawless event day for my couples, allowing from the start of hair and makeup to the end of the night to just flow seamlessly, make things easy for all of our vendors, the couples, and their families.
Your microphone.
Tina, you're on mute.
I hate the mute button. But if everybody else can mute when everybody else is talking, because I'm hearing some feedback and I couldn't tell if it was me or not, that'd be great. So, Jamila, you go next.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jamila Pierre, and I am the owner operator of Up and Away Balloons and Event Design. I started my business in August of 2020 during the pandemic. And Keena mentioned some of us that may have left our corporate jobs, and that would have been me. Amen. The Lord gave me the charge to step out on faith, and I left my corporate position of over 20 plus years to believe God. And so within my business, it started out just focusing on balloons, but I have always known that I'm a creative being, and so I have now matriculated into event planning, decor, all things decor, not necessarily on the wedding side, but more so events from birthday parties to retirements and things of that nature. So, yeah, so that's my story.
And yes, I was thinking of you when I said that. Yes, Miss Sharon, introduce yourself.
Okay, can you hear me? You can? Okay, good. My name is Sharon Patrice, and I am the owner and lead planner of Simply Perfect Peace Events. I planned my first wedding in 1986, and I have been doing that off and on. I retire often, but I have been doing, and my motto is simply creating peaceful weddings and events. I believe that, and I walk in the spirit of peace, and I bring that to my events, and believe that if I walk in peace, the peace that I walk in with, will go into those events. My specialty is weddings. I absolutely love weddings, and I do conception to completion, but I also do wedding day management as well.
And last but not least, Konisha Rhea. Oh, you changed your name. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Konisha.
I realized we were on Facebook and not Instagram.
I realized we were on Facebook and not Instagram, so I'm sorry.
It's okay.
My
Go
name
ahead
is
and introduce yourself and your company.
My name is
I'm hearing feedback, but I don't know why.
And your
I'm
company?
hearing feedback, but I don't know why. Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to mute myself. Just introduce yourself and your company and what exactly is your specialty.
Okay.
Okay.
My name is Konisha Ray. Everyone calls me Kay. Sharon, I am with you. I planned my first wedding in 1991. When I was 15 years old, I planned my parents' wedding, and I've been planning weddings ever since. So it has been 30 years. This year, October, will be 30 years that I've been doing this. Oh, goodness. The company that I am part of, that I am a founding member of, is called Private Events. We do all events from our birthday party to your corporate gala. I personally prefer the smaller events and weddings because it's where my passion is. But any type of party that someone has, we do. From catering, bar, decor, pulling permits, you name it, we can do it. And so our thing is, you have an idea, pass it over, and we got you. Yeah, that's just what I do. And with weddings, I am a firm believer in, I can give you your dream wedding on your real budget. So that's it. And I am so blessed to be with you ladies. Oh, I love it. Thank you.
No problem. And that's a good segue. I was talking to Sharon earlier today, and I just wanted to have some real conversation about the $2 budget, but they want the $100,000 wedding, or the $10 budget, but they want Jay-Z's party. With all the bubbles and everything in betwixt, and the popping of the bottles and the gold bottles, that is, and everything that's in between that, and the budget doesn't reflect that. I see some nodding of the heads from Jamila and Sharon, and I'm sure Nakiva and all of you all can agree. You've had those come to yourself conversations. So can you speak to, because we're talking about brides, and I know people who want the extravagant bridal party, and they want the party bus, and they want the limos, and they want, the drapes draping down the aisle, and, all the fanfare, but they don't really have a concept of how much that really costs. And not only how much that costs, but how much manpower it takes to pull something like that off. Not including your fee, Miss Nakiva's fee, Miss Jamila's fee, Miss Sharon's fee, and Miss Konisha's fee, separate from the cost of having all that fanfare. So I wanted some real conversation from some real industry people who are hands-on, and you guys are good at what you do. But can you speak some truth to that? Either one of you all can take a stab at it, or everybody can take a stab at it, because I'm noticing quite a bit, and I'm hearing quite a bit of that. Anybody, just come off mute.
So what I tell people is, give me a soft budget. And a soft budget is what you ideally want to spend. And then give me a hard budget. Which means I don't care if you put me over. You're not going over that amount. From there, we backtrack and say, okay. Your budget is $2,000. All of this. You want all of this. Well, this time. You want great. Well, this time.
much that costs.
If this is $5,000,
If this is $5,000, that means you only have $5,000 left.
That means you're either going to sacrifice
That
the number of
means
people
you're either going to sacrifice the number of people
or the venue.
or the venue.
Which one do you want to sacrifice?
Which one do you want to sacrifice?
And give them that
And
option.
give them that
Normally
option.
what people do
Normally, what
is-
people do is
well, it's twofold.
it's twofold. So
the people who
the
really
people
want
who
the
really want
business
the business
and stay within
and
budget,
stay within budget,
they'll decrease
they'll
their
decrease
number
their
to
number
50.
to 50.
Others
Will say, okay,
I'll
I'll
get rid
get
of
rid of
my
my
dreams
dream
with all of the big
big decor.
I'll pull it back
pull
a
it back a
little
little
bit
bit
so that I can stay with my 200 person wedding.
so that I can with my
On my
200 person wedding on my $10,000 budget.
Right, right.
That's what we do.
Yeah, Jamila or Sharon, I think we lost Nakiva, but hopefully she'll be able to come back. Go ahead.
I'll say for myself, one thing.
Sheila, you chime in?
Say for myself,
One thing
One
that
thing
I find
that-
important is that
one thing that I find important is that
expectation, right?
you have to
So,
manage
When
expectation,
having a
right?
conversation with
So,
the client,
When having a conversation
as
with the
you
client,
said,
just
what's your
as
soft
you
budget?
said,
Where are you?
what's your
financially?
soft budget? Where are you financially?
The other side of that is that I understand
The other side of that is that I
the
understand
clientele that I am
and
called to.
the tale that I am
I'm comfortable
to.
with that, right? So
I'm
in
comfortable
managing
with that, right?
expectations,
So
if I know that I
in
cannot
managing
meet that
expectations,
budget,
if I know that I
I
cannot
know
meet
that
that
I
budget,
have wonderful people
I know that I
here
have
or
wonderful
industry
people
that I
here
know
or
that
industry that I hear.
you will be able to receive what you want within your budget from this particular vendor. I'm just not that vendor at this moment. However, if you're able to, increase your budget, then I am, I may be able to assist you. So I am always very transparent with my clients. Also, in, like I said, in managing their expectation, like you said, the $2 budget, but you want the $10,000 look. Okay, well that just cannot be met. So there's a place for everyone. There's a place for everyone, and I'm confident where I am and what I bring to the table. And if I'm not within that realm, then I know that there are individuals that can meet that. And so I'm just very
I'm just very
And I appreciate that, Jamila, that you don't leave them hanging. Like, if this is what you want, then you'll refer them to somebody who can. I think Nakiva just joined us back. But go ahead, Sharon. You can go ahead and share.
Yeah, what I tell people
Hey,
is,
Nakiva, welcome back.
what I tell people is, that you may not know what your budget
Technology,
is,
I'm
like what
sorry.
you can spend, but you definitely know what you won't spend. They have these, these ideas, these grand ideas, but they know they're not going to spend $30,000. Be okay with being transparent. We're on the same team. Cohesiveness has to be there. And if you can't trust your planner in the beginning stages, it's not going to go well, because you've given this planner this idea that your budget is $40,000, when in essence your budget is $45,000. And so the planner has spent all this time, working diligently for you, and you can't even afford their fee. So it's important when I meet with clients, I let them know transparency is very important. We have to be open and honest in the door. Otherwise, the relationship is not going to work. And I'm okay with
And I hear you.
referring them
Yeah.
to someone else. Referring them to someone else.
And I hear you saying like that trust relationship starts from the initial contracting conversation. Like that is where the trust relationship begins. And I think that's so key. And I never even thought about that. You've got to be able to trust your planner to tell you the truth, right? The hard truth. Like, you've got a $4,500 budget, not a $45,000 budget, and your ideas are $100,000. So, you've got to scale it all the way down. And I heard that from Kay, like, you're going to have to scale this back. You can have this, but you might not be able to afford that. And I hear that from Jamila, like, I'll refer you to somebody, but I'm just not that person. And being okay
in your own skin, and that's probably a tough thing. So those are some of the things that were said prior to you leaving us, Nakiva. So I'm so happy that you're back. But this technology stuff, we love you, internet. Can you be nice to us today? Be nice to us today. So Nakiva, go ahead, share your nuggets on that.
So we're probably budget constraints and people who have vision.
Big vision.
Yeah, I agree.
Little budget.
Tiny budget.
Yeah, I
agree with Sharon in that conversation and that transparency and that honesty starts at the very beginning, right? You have to trust us with your vision and executing what you want and allowing us to lead you through that process. But we have to trust you that the information that you're giving us is accurate, right? And so it's a two-way street there. And I've worked with a lot of brides, who say, I can only afford, and I have to have those tough conversations. Sis, I get it. Like, you won't, springtime in Paris, as somebody told me last night, right? They want that Tyler Perry vision. But I'm like, sis, you don't have that kind of money to execute that. But what we can do is we might be able to get you a little springtime, and we can get you an Eiffel Tower that's going to sit on your centerpiece. We can do that for you. Right? But the reality is they have to be honest with us, and we have to be honest with them. Because I have heard horror stories of planners who like, oh yeah, we can do it. And then the client's budget is quadrupled and they can't afford to pay for it months before the wedding. And they're stressed out trying to figure out where they're going to get this money. And for me, I tell my clients from the very beginning, there is life after your wedding day, right? We can create a stunning day for you. It can be absolutely beautiful. But the day after, you still got to pay mortgage or rent, car note, light bill, etc. Right? Life continues. And so don't break the bank for the appearance of this day for other people or for the sake of beautiful photos. And when they try to, one of the easiest ways to save money is to cut your guest list. And when people struggle trying to figure out how do I pull out auntie this and cousin that, my best friend, I said, think about it this way. You are taking these people out to dinner, giving them a beautiful landscape to look at, and giving them a dope party. If you wouldn't take auntie such and such out to dinner on a random Saturday night to the best restaurant with the hottest DJ and spend anywhere from $100 to $300 for her plate, don't invite her to your wedding. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. When you add up your food costs, your liquor costs, your linens, your flowers, all of it adds up real quick.
Your flowers, all of it adds up real quick.
Listen, you just dropped I hope some people are writing that one down. Because that is an awesome way. I wish somebody had told me that. That's just an awesome way of thinking about who to put in your guest. So I myself as an example, because other people, I put my business out there on the streets. So when Big G and I we planned our wedding together. We wanted to do it together, and we had a $250 cutoff, right? That's guests. That's everybody who gonna put a fork to the mouth. It was $250, right? And so you got to include your photographer people. You got to include your DJ. Got to eat, right? If you got some guest singers, some guests anything, they got to eat too. So that's part. So that took like 15 out of that $250. Then we split it down the middle. You have 100 and such and such. I have 100 and such and such. So we separated it that way. And so whoever on our family, on our friends, on our besties and our homeboys and homegirls, they had to fit in that number. And boy, was that a struggle. But had I had somebody like Nakiva to say, would I take them out on a random night to, let's call it the pinnacle. Let's go to the pinnacle. Bump Fuck that chop house. Let's go to the chop house. You hear what I'm saying? The chop house. Maple. Let's go to Maple and spit. You hear what I'm saying? If I'm not going to do that, then I got to rework how I'm thinking about it. And do you know, right up until 2 days before the wedding, my husband was calling his cousins. Why? What did you all do with my stamps? You know how you send the thing out and they're supposed to send it back to you and let you... 2 days, 3 days before. Oh, we coming and we bringing... Who? Excuse me, ma'am? No, that's not how that works. So you talking about stress. And I'm a planner. I tried to do it a month in advance. We sent out relatives first. We got them out like early. All the relatives, all the TTs, the aunties, and all of them, right? They went out first. A whole month in advance before friends. And they still was 2 days before the event. Literally on his birthday, September 15th. And we got married on the 18th. We were calling them trying to figure out if they was coming. And we done paid for the food now. So if 250 people don't show up, Keena eating all the food, eating all of it, because all of it is coming home. Because I done paid for it. We done paid for it. So that's an awesome, y'all dropping nuggets. I don't even think you realize what kind of nuggets you dropping, but I'm going to go back and write them down because these are really, really some good nuggets for people to understand. And I also want you all to make sure you put your contact information either on the Facebook page or you can put it in the YouTube chat. Make sure you put your information in there of how people can contact you because I want people to contact you because these are women of integrity. We love Black Girl Magic. Yay. His bride loves some Black Girl Magic. But more importantly, I like people of integrity. People that are going to tell you the truth straight up, no chaser, and give you the honest opinion about what you want. You might want daisies instead of gladiolas. Right? I learned about flowers. I went to flower school. As a bride, you go through all these schools, especially if you plan it yourself. If you do any part of this planning, you're going to flower school, you're going to staging school, you're going to entertainment school to figure out DJs and let alone the tech schools. You're doing all of that, and part of that stress, you're giving that to the party planner. Do I get that right? You're giving some of that stress over to you all, and that's part of your fee. Now, I'm not going to ask them to give me their fee because it depends on the client, and it depends on what you're doing. You're going to have to call them individually and figure that thing out. But they do have a fee, is what I'm getting at. They have a fee that's separate from your photographer, your DJ, your dress, his tux, flower girls, flowers, cake, food. Oh, we already talked about the liquor, top liquor, especially if you have a bar. And if you're in a hotel, you're going to have a bar because they're going to write it in the contract. So these are things you have to think about. So I'll pose another question to you ladies. What would you say, the most exciting part of what you do? Is it the creative, like someone gives you their baby and like, have at it, you create it and then you come back with the sketches, because I do sketch work, like the O for the head and then the line for the neck. Those are the type of sketches I do. I know y'all do elaborate things. So what is the most exciting part about doing what you do? Because you have to have a passion for what you do in order to do it, right? So what would you say is the most exciting part about it? I'll go with Sharon. Why don't you go first?
Hey,
you gotta unmute.
Hey,
and I'm gonna mute.
Right. For me, the most exciting is actually the end. Seeing that bride or that couple or that client and their face lighting up, knowing that trusting you was the right decision. That makes all of the sleepless nights, the hours and hours and hours of work worth it. Just that one moment where they're just like, it just it just brings it all together for me. So that, I mean, my answer is real simple. I just love the end.
Awesome. And we're going to come back to that question. I just want to introduce Mary Spillers. She's another event planner that we've become familiar with. And we're just talking about the what is the most exciting part about what it is that you all do. And so we're just having a roundtable discussion, Mary, about that. So let's go to Jamila. What's exciting for you? I saw you nodding when Sharon was speaking.
Yes, so absolutely, I have to agree with Shay. The end, to see your clients' excitement, to see the manifestation of your hard work. But for me, also the most exciting part is taking the vision and the thought of your client's vision that's here and literally manifesting it tangibly, right? The creative part of it. I always try to challenge myself with each event to design something even greater. And the most exciting part for me is, so keyword, Kina, was passion, right? I am so passionate about this that I dream about it. I dream about what I want to see. I mean, I literally wake up in the middle of the night on Pinterest and all of the things because I'm like, oh my God, I have this idea. And even I work a lot with Nikiva, and she'll see them wheels spinning. And I'm like, I got something. So that is the part that is most exciting. And I think that excitement for me, it is indoctrinated into the design, everything that what the client sees is in that. My passion is in there. Everything is in. It could be just a simple floral, piece, but my passion is there. So that is the most exciting part for me, is just bringing it all together and just making sure that their vision is manifested through just my creativity. So that's it.
Awesome. Nikiva, what would you say? And we're going to talk about the collaborations also. So thanks, Jamila, for bringing that up. But go ahead, Nikiva.
So I am the epitome of a planner, right? I have a creative side. I can make the beauty, but my passion is in the logistics, right? When couples tell me, oh, well, my hair and makeup is going to end at 10, and then by 10:05, I'm going to be at the venue. No, ma'am. Like, you got to walk to the elevator. You got to get on the elevator. You got to go down, walk through the lobby, get into the car, get your dress into the car, and then drive off and get down the expressway, right? And so those logistical details excite me so much. By education, I'm an engineer. So I have a very logical mind and logical thought process. And so putting all of the logistics, I got a timeline right here that I need to work on when we're done, right? These are the things that keep me up at night, right? Thinking about, oh, wait, if we have to go down to the park for photos, okay, I got to account for traffic because it's the city of Chicago. You never know, right? We got winter and construction seasons. So is there construction on that road? How much extra time do we need? And the clients will freak out sometimes when I push things earlier, but I'm like, trust me, it's for a reason. And when we end up on wedding day and we've started earlier, but we still get the full 2.5 hours of party time because we got all that stuff done early, they appreciate it, right? They don't understand it in the midst of it, but for them to come back and say at the end of the day, this day was absolutely perfect. Everything went so smoothly. I didn't have to worry about anything. That's what makes my heart happy. That's because I trust the vendors.
I love the logistics.
That's because I trust the vendors. So I know. Yep.
I love the logistics part.
I know it's cool.
Yeah, because I'm anal with that thought process too. And so that is real essential, because the timing of things can make or break. And you could have all the beauty in the world, but if the timing is off, it can really throw the whole joy of the event off. Kanisha, what would you say the most exciting thing for you? What would you say?
The anniversary of them, coming back to do something else. No, I'm going to piggyback off of what everyone said. It's that, like, that first look. It's a tie between that first look where you see their awe, like, dang, they did that, and then at the end of the night where they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, I didn't worry about anything, oh my gosh, I didn't know you could do all of that. Them moments right there, worth every blood, sweat, tear. 2 a.m., waking up at 2 a.m., trying to figure out what you're going to do, all the pinch, it makes everything okay. It makes everything okay.
Absolutely, and I'm gonna give some backstory to Miss Konisha Rhea. But Mary, introduce yourself. The name of your business, and then you can chime in on that question as well. What makes you most excited about what it is that you do? Go ahead, Mary.
Hello, everyone. This is really good for me to be in the company of great women. Just hearing you all, I couldn't get on, but I have to agree with you all. The creative part is probably the most exciting, but I have to agree that the logistics really that's the key, because the smallest thing can throw anything off. And if you don't plan for success, if you don't plan for failures in the midst of it, because what I tell my brides is that stop planning for a perfect day, because there's no perfect day. Plan for a day that's designed by God, and then it will be perfect in all of our eyesight. There could be 1,000 things that can go wrong, but at the end of the day, when you have done everything that you can do to make it happen, logistically, creatively, you can plan it to the T, and it can be anything that can happen. You have to just keep going. We as planners, we become perfectionists. So we want to see your vision come to life, and that is our ultimate goal. But at the end of the day, when we are like dogs and our tongue is hanging out because we're so exhausted and we can't think straight because we've spent 17,000 hours doing, putting this together, putting this flower together, figuring out where grandma was going to sit at. We can't put this family member with this family member. We have to consider everybody's feelings, everybody's thoughts. And then at the end of the day, sometimes that first look doesn't make you happy, because at that point they done made you mad and you like, I just want this to be over with. And you don't like anybody, you can't stand anybody. I'm just being honest. And it's times that I'm like, yeah, oh, I can't wait. I never do another thing for you. But at the end of the day, if they come back and they say, Mary, can you do my baby shower? You're like, all right, what's the budget? When do you need it? What's going to happen? Because you love repeat offenders. But at the end of the day, I call them repeat offenders because they're crazy enough to come back to us after they done got on our nerves. But, we still do it. You get past all of that and you quit every day, you quit every second, and then you say, God, was it worth it? And you say, yes, it was. Because it makes you happy. It gives you the opportunity to do something you may or may not have ever done before. And then especially if you have a client that's open to you being creative. That's the key, because everybody is not open to you being creative. Everybody wants you to stick within this. But then the minute you mention something slightly outside of it, it can go haywire. But as long as you stay focused and you do all that you can do, because you're never going to get everything right. But if they're crazy enough to come back to you, you did what you were supposed to do.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy I was on mute, because that just blessed my little soul. Repeat offenders. Never quite thought about business that way, but yeah. I guess it's not just in the law. There are repeat offenders everywhere. But I saw all of you all smiling and nodding your heads when she was talking about, oh, I can't wait, this is over with. I can't. Yes, it's wonderful, wonderful. What time is over? At 9:05. 9:05, I can start breaking this down. I'll just presume, and we don't have to go there, but that there are occasions where you do end up contractually bounded, that's the law side, with someone, and you have to see it through, and you're so grateful that is at the end. Would you take a client that drove you literally? Well, Mary already said they're repeat offenders in her book. So, Jamila, Nakiva, should you take someone back that literally changed every color of your hair, not even to gray? You know, they went to other colors of the rainbow. Nakiva's like, one and done. One and done. Nakiva, I got you. One and done. Jamila? Jamila's like,
my theory is not all. That's my theory.
Got it. You guys heard it. Kanisha, you driving, mommy?
I am, because I am sorry.
You talking to us?
I am sorry, you guys. I'm a high school football coach, and so I was in practice. So high school football coach, and so I was in but I'm listening. So
okay. So would you do a repeat offender?
I do 3 strikes and then don't call me ever.
You would?
3 strikes and then don't call me ever again.
You said 3 strikes? Okay. We got 3 strikes. All money's not good money. Nakiva's like, one and done. Mary's like, repeat offenders. Okay, Sharon. Sharon is one and done?
No, I exercise my right to say no. Respectfully.
Okay. So you've heard it from some experts here. Please don't offend your party planners. You may need to use them again. So you want to have good relationships. Go ahead, Mary.
When I say repeaters, I'm saying crazy enough to come back to me after they acted a fool. Now, I don't do disrespect. I don't do where you're gonna curse me out. I mean, I had one bride blame me because the pastor was late and the people didn't pray. I said, ma'am, I don't control your I'm in the back. I don't have anything to do with that. And she was highly upset. And I was like, okay. Okay. I had to humble myself and say, let me just get through the night, because either I'm going to go to jail or I'm going to go to jail. It's going to be one of the two. And it's the same thing. And I don't believe as planners, we should have to take that. It's not our job to control your people. It's our job to bring your vision to life. But it's your job to make sure your people are in place. We can do the logistics and tell them you need to be at the church at 2:00. If something happens, that's not on us. So repeat offenders is people that come back and they're crazy and they know you're crazy as well. And then you're sitting here like, so we're going to do this again? And they say, yes, they really enjoyed your services. But then you have those people where you're like, so after today, make sure you lose my number, delete my number, don't refer me to anyone. I don't want anyone of your kind. I don't want to be in the presence of anyone that you associate with, because if you're crazy, I have to assume that they're going to be crazy. And that's not what we're in the business for. We're professional, but then, we can be John, but sometimes we got to be a little Peter.
Not cutting off ears. Jesus help the people.
I mean, cutting off ears, cursing them out, whatever happens. You don't want to be unprofessional, but people will push you to that. And unfortunately, they think because you're a planner that you aren't supposed to have feelings, or you're just supposed to take it because that's what you're getting paid for.
Oh, wow. That's a whole nother conversation, I think, when you're paying someone for a service, but you expect that they're your stepping stool as well. I think that's a whole level of disrespect from just a human standpoint. And nobody, whether it's the grocery store clerk or, it's the Fortune 500, everybody deserves the respect of their profession. And especially if I'm coming to you because you're a professional in this industry, I'm coming to you and I'm paying you. So there should be just an automatic level of respect right out the door. And I think that goes back to something we were talking about earlier about developing that trust relationship at the initial contract stage, when you're having that initial conversation about the vision and what you want and the fees. That's where it begins, So let me ask this. I'm sure you've dealt with, and we talked about numbers, the big numbers and the small numbers. I was a frugal bride. I know a lot of people are frugal brides in this day and season of COVID, wanting to do destination weddings. I've heard horror stories about destination weddings, especially during 2021-ish. When 2020 and then there was some opening up in 2021 and 2022, there's been some horror stories around destination weddings. Do you all have an opinion one way or the other about destination weddings, and is that something part of your business that you do? Let's go with Jamila. Is that something that you will do, a destination wedding?
So I don't focus wedding.
Oh, that's right. You more event planning, but will you do a destination party?
I would
do
a
destination.
Okay, absolutely. I'm actually that is a desire of mine.
I'm actually the desire of mine.
I think it's just logistics. Yeah, there may be some issues.
Logistics. There may be some issues there, but for sure, we'll be open to it for sure.
Awesome. Nakiva, have you done destination weddings?
I have not done one yet.
I have
have been recruited for one early next year. We'll be having a conversation.
Okay.
We'll be having something I want to get into.
Okay.
I want to get into.
I want to expand both of my service offering to open myself up.
Okay. Sharon, Mary, or Kanisha, have you done destination parties or weddings?
I have done destination. And
okay, Sharon. Are those logistically harder? Are they harder or they're easier?
When you're working with an on-site coordinator, just like if we're going to, for me, it's just like when I go to Odyssey, it just happens to be down the street. There's an on-site coordinator that makes sure that the facility is taken care of. So I am making sure that my client is taken care of. And we work as a team, and it goes just fine. I have actually what I consider destination because it's not in the state of Illinois. I go to North Carolina this weekend for an actual wedding. And I've just worked with the venue. I did one visit, just to see how things would flow with the bride. And then this weekend, I will do another site visit. And then I'll have the wedding on Sunday. But I trust the vendor that we've selected, and it'll be fine.
Okay, that's awesome. Kanisha, Mary, any comments on destinations?
I've done Vegas several times. I've done Indianapolis. I've done Madison, Wisconsin. I get to do I am currently planning two. I have one in Jamaica and one, I think they're going to turn into probably Turks and Caicos is going to be their selection. That I am working on right now. They're both one is doing 2023 and one is doing 2024. So I'm excited. You're finding different vendors, looking up, reviews, trying to email. I've emailed a couple people who've left reviews just to make sure it's real people. it's just it's a little different because you're so used to depending on what you see. Like here, I know everybody. I know my vendors. I know that if that vendor don't give me an invoice until 3 days before the event, that vendor knows I'm gonna pay them because I got the money and I know they're gonna show up. There, no, I need everything done like military style because I don't know you know, so I have to protect my who's paying me, my bride, or I've done a couple parties in Indianapolis, so you just got to protect who's paying you best way you know how. So it's fun. I'm excited.
That sounds like fun. Mary, did you have anything on destinations?
I did my cousin, and
Okay.
I would have to say, working with that planner, she cut out on me. She completely stopped, and I ended up taking over, and I was literally stuck. I had no idea what was happening. I was moving chairs. She just left. I made sure that we sent the music a month before because like you all said, you have to make sure that everything is done. Here, we know our people. We can run the Hobby Lobby. We can run home. We can run anywhere and get whatever we need. But there, you have to trust that they did their part. And for that being my first experience, I came home. I said, okay, so if I'm doing a destination wedding, we're sending everything 2 months before. We're doing a run through on the phone. Like the logistics, you have to be serious about the logistics because with her not having the music ready, it caused the wedding to be an hour and a half late, which caused for everything to be rushed. They wanted to stop and buy stuff. I was literally running, telling them, listen, everybody get on the bus. If we don't get on the bus, you will not get on the boat. That's a whole nother thing. People don't realize there's a difference in being on a cruise ship and getting married on a cruise and getting off the boat, going to a resort, and then having to get back on. It's a whole different ball game. And so like she was saying about logistics, if you do not have your logistics tight, they were so upset with me because I kept telling them, no, we're not stopping. Don't look, don't touch, don't stop, keep going. Because we literally made it back to the port 5 minutes before the boat was leaving. And had I not...
Okay, that's a whole nother conversation being left. Being left in another country because you didn't get on the boat. That would be... That's a logistical nightmare in and of itself. But these are some of the things, just letting our viewers know, these are some of the things you have to think about. Like, who are you inviting? I think that goes back to who are you inviting? I think Nakiva brought that up to this party, right? To this wedding that you're paying for. And I know Jamila's like, I don't do weddings, but I do decor, all things decor. So Jamila, when you're doing all things decor, and you have to go to, like on Instagram, it's up and away, right? Balloons? Is that what it's called? On Instagram. Okay. Go and look at her page, Southwind Events. Go and look at Miss Nakiva's page. Sharon, what is it simply perfect on Instagram, or what? How is it phrased?
Simply perfect peace event.
Okay, is that on Instagram?
Instagram and on Facebook.
Instagram and on Facebook. And Kanisha, can they look at Privet?
It will be private on Facebook. And then on Instagram is private
on Facebook. Okay.
And then on Instagram is _ events.
It's what events? You broke up a little bit.
Private, PRIVIT. Private, PRIVIT.
Underscore events. Okay. And then Mary, how can they look at some of your work? You have to unmute Mary.
I was just saying.
Don't look at it. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like,
I like to have fun. It's been a stressful day, so I'm just being it's been a day.
all of your sisters, the sisters you just met were like,
They
all their faces like,
Jamila's whole face said.
I know what you mean. Talk about a poker face, Jamila. I don't have one either. That's why I was like,
I definitely don't. You can't even look at my. The essence of you.
okay.
The essence of you.
The essence of you. Okay. So the essence of you for Mary, Southwind Events for Nikiva, Up and Away Balloons, right, for Jamila, private _ events, right, for Konisha, and Simply Perfect Peace, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Simply Perfect Peace. I'm trying to get all these words together. Did you do it all together? But make sure you go and look up their event spaces on social media. And I'm guaranteeing you're going to love everything. You can't hire everybody, okay? Not all at one time. Now, if you got ends like that, get to hiring. Hire Jamila, Konisha, Sharon, Nikiva, and Mary. Hire everybody. You got ends like that, work that thing out. But make sure them some cashier's checks, some money orders. We like real cash, not let's call it CIA worthy cash, okay? We want real cash, right? So make sure that you have the funds to meet their budget of how much it's going to cost you to use them, amen, for their services. So lastly, I just want us to round up this conversation because you guys have given some awesome nuggets. Mary, you just brought some joy, some extra joy to this conversation for sure. I think for me, had I done some things differently, I would have hired an event planner because a couple of things happened on my day. So I was a frugal bride. I hunted for every bargain that I thought I could hunt for. We didn't necessarily set a budget, which wasn't so much a problem because I was looking for bargains. So, but I think it would have helped if we had to set a budget, right? The hard amount, like you're not going over that amount, right? So just to give you one example of the many things that happened on our wedding day, besides it pouring down raining right when the shofar was blowing, right when the shofar blew, pouring down rain. My chair cover people that I had paid for in December of 2017, we got married in 2018. They decided not to show up, but maybe 10 minutes before the wedding was supposed to start, and they had about 300 chairs to cover. Not only with covers, but I had paid for the extra fancy, I don't even know what you call it, ties, whatever, the tie backs or whatever. I had the extra fancy thing that you don't just tie in a bow and bam, there it is, right? Of course I had to have a fancy one. So I didn't have chair covers. But no one told me. How did I find out? I walked out as my music was playing with my uncle. And I'm looking at the chairs because ain't no people, right, Nikiva? Your mind is still working and going, right? And I'm like, why am I walking inside? We supposed to get married on the veranda because I had banners made. I had musician. I had all of that set up. So why am I walking on the inside of this venue, walking outside? Yeah, it rained, and so everything had to be moved to what? Plan B. And then I don't have chair covers. So part of my tears down the aisle was I was so mad because how in the world don't I have chair covers that I paid for 8 months in advance? Date, time, contract, everything. I like wanted to turn around, hold the music, let me pull out my contract, call these people, and find out where my chair covers are. Needless to say, Keena got all her monies back, all the coins were returned to me because I don't even play games like that. 8 months in advance, but that is a stress that could have been relieved from me had I had an event planner to do that for me, right? Maybe you would not have used the particular vendor that I use. You would have used somebody that you know and trusted. And so that goes back to those relationships. What you are paying an event planner for are relationships that they have established. You are paying them more for their connections, their esteem in the industry, their integrity, their accountability. That's what you're paying for. So when they give you their fee, don't look at them like Jamila did when Mary was making her joke. Don't look at them like, what you say? What you talking about, Willis? Right? What? How much? How many zeros is that? Right. Because what you're paying for is all of that comes with it. All of that comes with it. And so I encourage you. We're right at the hour. I just want to encourage each of these wonderful ladies. Continue to do what you do. I see you all. I like your pages. I'd be like, oh, that's so pretty. That's so pretty. I want a piece of that. I want a piece of that. I want a piece of that. Because the retirement party is coming. 5 years, God. 5 more years. 5 more years. I'm out. So I'm going to be calling one of y'all or maybe all of y'all. Maybe my budget will be that way. I'll be hiring everybody. But I'm just so excited that you guys are in this industry and you're providing a service. But I want people to understand, especially my beautiful brides that just want the most elaborate of all things. Even if you want Miss Jamila to an exceptional bridal party, right? With balloons and things hanging from the sky. What was it in Perry, Nakiva, the Tyler Perry? I was like, I want people hanging from the ceiling. I want them to do a pirouette. I was like, I want that too. Everybody has that dream, right? Like, I want people to be, dancing and what they call the aerial dancers. I want some of them. I like them too, with some drapes and everything, some diamonds hanging. Yes, we like bling. But at the same time, you've got to be able to pay for it. So, check this out, people. You could save your monies. You could talk to Jamila. You could talk to Nakiva. You could talk to Mary. You could talk to Sharon. You could talk to Kanisha. Hey, I want this venue. I know how much it costs. I want this, and this. And I have an idea of how much it costs. I'm saving up my coins for 2024 or 2025. Work on it. There's no shame in that. But don't let that be, and I think Nakiva, you said that, this is one day. The marriage is for a lifetime. Jamila had a beautiful wedding, a beautiful reception. Beautiful, right? I've worked with Kanisha on some projects, right, for Black Women Lawyers Association. That's some hard work. That ain't my area. Not my area. I stays in my lane, not my area. It just isn't. But these are ladies that you can go to. Go to their page, patronize them. You're going to be in a safe space. You're going to be in a safe space. And like Jamila said, if they're not the person, then maybe they can refer you to somebody else who can help you still get your vision, still within the budget that you have. And then you guys can still leave as friends, and that's okay. That's okay too. So I just want to thank you ladies, Mary, Nakiva, Sharon, Jamila, and Konisha. What Konisha was saying is she's a football coach. She's a football coach, and so she's in transition. I think that's what she was saying earlier. I'm like, you had a game today, you could have told me. But any parting words for anybody who wants to come to you, or just any parting words that you would have, or any parting advice. I would put it that way. Any parting advice that anyone has that you would like to give. We can start with you, Nikifa.
Sorry. I guess my final piece of advice would be hire a planner, trust that planner, and be flexible. Don't be so rigid that you only see red roses, right? And there are hundreds of other floral options available to you that can be just as beautiful, but more cost effective, right? So yeah, those would be my three.
Words.
And that's awesome. That's a good point, because I ended up using silk flowers for my centerpieces instead of real flowers, and then only my bouquet and my bridal party's bouquets and the boutonnieres were real flowers. So that was an element of how I curved my budget. And it worked out well because the silk flowers expanded and they stayed, right? You didn't have to freeze them like I think you have to do real flowers to make them stay in a flower ball, right? And that worked out way. But that's a great point, Nikiva. That those are great points that you provided. Mary, any parting words?
I would say, as much as you put into your wedding, put triple into your marriage. And that's what I tell my brides. Like, you have to live after this day. You can't come to me and say you want all these extravagant things and then get upset with me because I tell you it's not in your budget. Then I say, well, what are you going to do after the wedding? Oh, I don't know. Well, you have to plan. Just like you're planning your wedding, are you planning for your marriage? And it's more important for me that your marriage is sustained than your wedding, because that's one day, as Nikiva said, it's just one day. You have the rest of your life to be with this person, but you're only preparing for one day. So my advice is plan for the marriage, not just the day.
And that's so essential. That is so essential. Great advice, Mary, indeed. And not having a gazillion bills for the ring or anything in betwixt afterwards. You know, that should not be. Your wedding should be paid for and done way before the wedding. So that's great advice.
I've seen brides go through their wedding, their wishing wells, getting money to pay for something. And I'm standing there. Heart is. I had Jamila say, like, what are you doing? And literally stems from people that didn't RSVP that just showed up, which Nikki did earlier, and not properly taking care of you.
Right.
So we're standing in the bathroom.
Wow. That's, yeah, I'm going to leave that one alone. Jamila, since you gave them the what you talking about Willis look, go ahead.
My advice would be for the client to understand that you get what you pay for, right? I can speak for all of these ladies on here. This is a ministry for us. It's not just a business. It is a ministry for us. And everything that from what we breathe, every fiber of our being, we put into this. And so, yes, manage expectations in terms of your budget, but understand that you get what you pay for. So if we come to you with our fee or what have you, and it's like, oh, and you want to go to someone that's a little less expensive, keep in mind, you get what you pay for. And so, like I said, I can speak to all of us. We are going to provide excellent service in everything that we do, because it's not just a job, it is our passion and it is our ministry. So that's my parting words.
Absolutely. Be conscious of what you're paying for, you know. Yeah. Did you get the hot dog? Yeah, absolutely. With no relish, no mustard. Not even a Chicago dog. You just got a plain vegan dog. In between the bun. Okay, go ahead, Sharon. Your parting words.
My parting words is like Lakiva said, hire a planner. If you can't do conception to completion, at some point in your planning process, get you a planner to help you along the way. Day of coordination is a myth. There is just no way. It's just not feasible. I don't know. They need to get rid of that whole term. There's no way to do day of coordination. But get you someone along the process to help you. You cannot go down the aisle and make sure everything's in place. You just can't do it. You can't manage your vendors and get your hair done, then get your makeup, and then make sure the cake is there. You just can't do it. If someone's not on the guest list, you don't want them coming to bother you during your reception. Get you a planner that you trust, that's going to work on your behalf. They have your best interests. They're not going to spend all of your money. They're going to be budget conscious. They're going to work with integrity, and they're working in the spirit of excellence. And they are trusting God for your day, almost more than you are. They're trusting God for your day, because we are nothing without his hand on us. Absolutely nothing. So those are my parting words. Get you a planner that's going to work on your behalf.
I absolutely agree. And another thing that I would add, everybody that's your homeboy and your girl. I'm sorry? Oh, everybody that's your homegirl or your boy may not be your best choice for your planner. May not be your best choice for who you trusting your coins to. Why? Because this is business. And I emphasize, this is a contract. Putting on my legal hat. This is a contract. And this is business. And you want your deliverables to be according to what was written in the contract. What you cannot deal with on the day of, as Sharon, and this is what jogged it in my memory with what Miss Sharon was saying, while you getting your makeup touched up, you can't deal with the caterer missing a couple of eggs. You can't deal with those details. Why? Because I'm telling you, it will make you just cry, cringe. Pictures are gonna look like that for the rest of your life. You gonna remember, I took that picture right after they told me I didn't have no chair covers. I took that picture right after. You feel me? I got over it. I have beautiful pictures because I had to reflect on what was important. Me, him, the minister, and one witness. Everybody else was gravy. That was it. Everybody else was gravy. Y'all just witnessing. But we need Big G, me, a pen, the paper, and the minister, and one witness. That's it at the end of the day. So if you want the elaborate party, hire them. If you want the elaborate wedding, hire them. But understand, this is business contract. So respect the contract, respect the relationship that you're entering into, the trust relationship that you're entering into, and have a most fabulous day within your budget. So after the one day is over, you're not crying because you live in a shack, because you spent it all for the wedding. You don't have a house. You know, they coming to repossess the ring that you wore at the wedding. You know, y'all remember that scene? I know we're going over time, but y'all remember that scene in Girlfriends when Tony got her ring stolen? And she was like, oh, let's take a cheaper ring. Or he was like, let's take a cheaper ring and then you could get this other thing. Okay. You know, so no. That can't be your focus. So again, we're over our time. Thank you, ladies. Make sure you put your information in your in the chat or on the Facebook page so that people can reach you. But again, I want each of you all to go back around and just say the name of your company and how they can get in contact with you, just as a lasting end of this. And then we're out of here. Jamila, you go ahead and go first.
I can be found on both.
I can be found on both
under Up and Away. Again, Jamila Pierre, Up and Away in Design.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamila, for coming on. I really appreciate your business, and I appreciate your sisterhood, and that's my sorrow.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And Sharon, you go ahead.
I'm Sharon for Simply Perfect. I can be contacted on Instagram and Facebook at Simply Perfect Events.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Mary, how do they contact you?
Jesus. I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry.
And through Jesus?
I'm so sorry. The Essence of You special event. I think it's the Essence of You event. Facebook.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mary, for coming on. Thank you, Sharon, as well. And Akiva, round us up.
I am Nikiva Lauren with Southwind Events. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Or my website, Southwind Events.
And I know with Southwind, you've done some multicultural weddings as well. I saw some beautiful things that you all did for just elaborate, just gorgeousness. Wanted some pieces of those too, some of those pieces. I know, Jamila, you do I've seen you do a lot of different kinds of parties, from bridal events, but to just regular, sister girls getting together type of party. So small and large. And Sharon, I've been to events that, I've been on her 360 machine, having a good time, right, having a good time. And Mary, you have events small and large as well, right? So, again, reach out to the ladies. Kanisha, again, you can find her private events, or you can find her at Kanisha Rhea, RHEA. If you can't find her, just contact me and I'll make sure I put you in contact with her. So ladies, thank you so much. As always, His Bride Intimate Conversations. We have real talk about some real stuff that happens when some of us as brides get out of control with our budget in our head and stop watching Tyler Perry movies, and stop looking at celebrity weddings. We need to stop. We just need to look at the bank account. That's what we need to look at. Amen. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you again for coming on. I just so appreciate your friendship, and I just support each one of you all. Will always refer. You guys are in my run list. When people are asking me, I send them out. Contact them and find out, if they can do business with you. You guys are in my list. So thank you so much, and we bid you farewell. Good day, everybody.